Welcome to the Real Estate Playground, where we cover everything in the realm of real estate with no fluff and no BS. I'm Todd Erickson.
And I'm Ray Evans. Bringing over 28 years of experience combined, we've seen the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between.
Join us as we take you for a ride through the Real Estate Playground that's full of laughs, knowledge, and perhaps a few unexpected surprises.
So whether you're a realtor, home buyer, seller, investor, or just here for the hilarious stories, we've got something for everyone. Let's get into it.
3-2-1.
It's already done.
We're ready to rip it. We're ready to rip this episode of the Real Estate Playground today.
So what do you want to talk about today, Ray?
Well, I think that we discussed talking a little bit about some real estate myths. You know, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Like what truth is behind them?
Yeah, like what's truth and what's partial truth, and usually it's partial truth, right? It's not altogether all truth.
They obviously had to originate from somewhere, so there was probably some truth behind it at one point, I think.
Right.
But then I feel like over the years of real estate,
Right.
I feel like things have obviously changed throughout the decades.
And then you also have like these people who they know a little bit about real estate, and they might tell somebody, and then somebody thinks that is like the only way, or like that's the permanent part of
Well,
it.
and it's like the grandfather, back in my day, we used to
Right.
do this.
Right. Or the real estate agent that's like, well, I've been in this business for 22 years and I ain't never.
I ain't never.
Yeah. So no, that's what we're going to talk about today. I think it's a great segue after our last episode where we talked about some really cool topics too.
Look, but that was the thing. That episode was about all the crazy
It
shit
was
in real
so
estate.
much fun.
Look,
And that wasn't even all of it.
Well, and that was that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, we didn't even cover the rim of the cup when it comes to talking about the different things that could happen. We may have to do another segment episode on more crazy stuff.
Anytime I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today, one of the things that you hear a lot of times, and I've heard this before, and maybe even before I got into real estate and I became aware of all of the different pathways to home ownership, but there's a myth out there that says that you need a 20% down payment to purchase a home. Oh,
False. I call false.
so I think that's false, right? Explain that. Why is that false, sir?
Well, I mean, I feel like it also comes down to the different programs that are out there. I mean, we know that for veterans alone, I mean, we talked about military loans in one of our other episodes. Sometimes it's 100% financing, so you don't have to put anything down.
0% down is available to particular buyers that are buying with a VA loan, and then there's also some other 0% down programs, right?
Well, and then it's also, you got FHA, which could be as low as 3.5% down.
Right. So, and that's the other thing too, is like you get a lot of people who are like, oh, well, I got to save this 20%. Well, by the time you sat there and you saved 20% down on a, let's just say right now, the average price here in this market is $305,000. So 20% on that is a significant number. That's $65,000.
Yeah.
60 to 65,000, right? How long is it going to take you to save 65,000?
Well, most people don't even make that in a year.
Right. So realistically, we talking 2 to 4 years at least.
Yeah.
By that time, that $304,000 house becomes a $360,000 house. So now you need almost $80,000 down. So you've saved for 2 years, but your mortgage just went up another $80,000.
Look,
Right?
and I'll be honest,
that price from 304 in 2 or 3 years could be 350 or 360.
Right. But I think it's good that this myth comes up where people are talking about that, because for those that may not know, have never purchased a home before, have been in a rental, and they're like, one day I'm going to own a home. Well, this is our way of kind of putting that out there
Right.
to you, so you guys can understand that you don't have to save that long. Sometimes I feel like just get in front of a lender, ask the right questions, get a little bit more insight from someone who is a professional in that field.
Exactly.
They're going to be able to tell you specifically the financing. We know that we love our families, we love our friends. That's where we always get all our advice and everything from. But sometimes, let's be honest, they don't always have the best advice, or they want to base it off of their experience.
Right.
And so we know that purchasing a home is not the same for everybody.
And if that experience was 18 years ago or 12 years ago, the
Exactly.
market has changed. The financing has changed. Everything has changed. Everything changes every
Look,
day.
COVID alone changed everything. It changed the way that we do things. I mean, look, due diligence fees.
Yeah.
We didn't used to have due diligence fees like that until COVID started up.
Well, we had them, but nobody was using them in the contract.
That's true. That's true.
I was using them.
Of course you were.
I was, and agents were asking me if I was, telling me that I wasn't looking out for the buyer whenever I was using.
I would have told you were absolutely crazy and you would have been greedy at the time.
But guess what? My buyers, they won those contracts.
I believe it. It still have. I mean, and due diligence fees has now become almost a custom now, where sellers almost expect it with every offer that's coming through.
It's not the sellers.
What do you mean?
The sellers don't expect it.
Are you talking about the agents?
The agents are the ones.
Yeah, because
now
they're
that are
educating.
expecting it. Dude, we could talk about this forever.
I know.
I love this podcast. do you know that I had an agent, of course, being in my position as the broker in charge here at Remax Elite Realty Group. Hey, one of the things, an agent brought an offer to another agent. Okay. Now this property has been on the market for over 60 days. It was disclosed that there were some potential crawl space issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so the agent wrote an offer with earnest money. The buyer's agent wrote the offer with earnest money deposit. And the agent that accepted it, or that was representing the seller, came back and said that, well, we're just kind of wondering why you didn't put any due diligence fee down. Why would we put due diligence fee down on a property that has known issues?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want my buyers to take, $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 and take that risk?
Yeah.
When there's known issues with the property, and how could the seller expect them to do that? It just didn't make sense. So we got off of the 20% down. Where now we're talking contracts, which that could be.
But that's okay. That's what it leads into.
That could be a whole nother another day of talking for us.
Right.
Is, how to properly write a contract, and when do you use due diligence, and when do you use EMD? Because I think there's still confusion in the marketplace about that. I think, like you said, everybody's expecting due diligence fee now because we went through that crazy ass period where they're like 10,000 due diligence, no inspections.
Well, and I think the expectation is there now because it's almost as if agents are, and it's not everybody, but I feel like it's the type of consultation you're giving with your clients. So if that is already being put into your script of what it is that you're stating to your clients, that expectation is already there that, hey, when an offer comes through, you should be expecting this.
Which, haven't we learned anything in the past 3 years about expectations and usuals and things like that? The conversation should absolutely be, these things are all negotiable.
Absolutely. Everything is negotiable until agreed upon.
Yes. And then it's even negotiable after it's agreed upon post-contract negotiations.
That is true.
So anyway, rabbit trail.
I got your next myth for you.
All right, go ahead.
So myth states open houses are useless.
Ooh, crickets.
A little bit of ASMR.
I don't know what that is.
Our open house is
What is
useless. I don't know. I think
I don't think so.
I think it started off like a TikTok trend. I could be wrong, but I think people just like do all this like
these
weird
weird
things with the on the. Okay,
Is
so
it Friday. What time is happy hour?
It is
What time
Friday.
is happy hour? Happy hour, 6:00 tonight.
All right, so look, open houses are useless. What do you think?
I think that they are not. They can be, but I don't think they are. I think when done properly, there's a great use for them. It helps you as the listing agent. It helps you get notoriety in the neighborhood, and it gets your property a little additional exposure that it might not get just sitting on the market.
Well, and I also think too, it's another opportunity for you to network. It's another opportunity for you to get more clients.
More feedback for the seller.
Absolutely. I mean, and I feel like not only that, but you're proving your worth to your clients as well. So if you put that into your consultations, that this is a service that you're going to provide to them, is to do an open house that brings more traffic into their area and their subdivision.
I call it an open house on steroids.
Yeah.
Because if you do it right, you can really get some attention. I did one recently over in Williamsburg Plantation. House hadn't sold, but guess what? House sold after that.
And that's it, right?
Not as a direct result of the open house, but almost as an indirect result, I think. But here's what happened. I put out hundreds of signs.
If it's like Williamsburg Plantation, I take them on the Parkway and I put them down the whole right and left side of the street.
Yeah.
And I got somebody on the Williamsburg Plantation homepage or the HOA page said, "Don't you guys think that this is a little overkill?" And some very friendly person out there, I don't even know who this person was. I didn't say anything. I don't get involved in those kind of conversations. It's a waste of time. And energy. I don't waste my time and energy on people that don't deserve it. But the guy says, or the gal, I can't remember which. They said, "Well, Scott, you talking about it, doesn't it?"
And that's what it's technically designed for.
I was like, yes. I was like, one for the home team.
But at the same time, I love that. I love whenever someone goes above and beyond for the open houses because it shows that you're putting everything into that house. Yep. And sometimes, I forgot where I was going. That's something about the more you do, the more you'll.
Well, dude, it's activity, right? Activity begets activity. I tell the agents all the time here in this office that sometimes when you prospect for 2 to 3 straight hours on the phone, you don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
But the universe has a way of returning that back to you because of what your efforts are. And it's a really weird phenomenon that you can only understand if you're a real prospector. Mm-hmm. You will sit there and you will prospect 2 to 3 hours, and like 2 hours later, your phone will ring, or somebody will call you from 3 weeks ago, or somebody will call you from a month ago.
Well, and in that aspect, you really only just need one out of the 50 calls you made, and then it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah, because you make like 12 G's.
Well, I would hope that I would get more than one, but I feel like if you get one out of the 50 phone calls you made that day, your time was well spent.
That's right.
So,
man, we get on rabbit trails on these. I like this.
But that
this
actually,
is my fault.
Do
it's
I?
My fault that we're getting on these rabbit trails. Sorry.
But I think that actually it leads into the next myth, I think, which is all real estate agents are the same. Do you agree, or do you think that is false?
No, man. I think that is completely false. Completely false. And I
probably should have done that earlier.
Yeah. I want to, I feel like we need that Kendrick Lamar song right now. They're not like us.
Not like us. I said that wrong too.
That was terrible. That was actually really bad.
I was just listening to my office before the podcast too.
Yours was worse than mine. But no, hell no. All real estate agents are not the same, man. Some agents are part-time. Some agents are doing this for the money. Some agents are doing this because they love their clients. Some agents are doing this because they're trying to build multi-million-dollar businesses to take care of their family for life.
Yeah.
So no, all agents are not the same. And there's buyer's agents, there's seller's agents, there's commercial agents, there's leasing agents. So
that's exactly where I was about to go with it, is the fact that agents are not in this career field all doing the same things. You have commercial agents that specialize in that. Let me give a little shout out to Christina Asbury. She's known for being the land agent. Anything that has to do with soil, land, she's your go-to gal out here.
You know what's really crazy? I ran into her at the Wilmington airport. I'm walking in. It's like 5 a.m. And I'm like minding my own business. I'm a little tired. I'm ready for a weekend for St. Patrick's Day, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I hear Ray. I'm like, am I hearing shit? And I look around. I look behind me. It's her. Guess where she's on her way to? A land conference in Phoenix, Arizona.
I believe it.
She's good stuff. But yes, there's agents that do different stuff.
Well, not only that, but also the way that agents carry themselves too. And I always tell, I put something out a while back, and I actually had an agent complain on my social media because I had put out there that apples to oranges, not all realtors are built the same. And she was offended by it. And the way that I was putting it out there is that this person's going to do this for you, but I'm going to do this for you. And every agent goes into this different, but you also have ones that are full-time. You have ones that are part-time, that are moms out there that also are picking up kids, so they do it when they can. We've got some that work here that are still in the military and also doing this part-time. So not all agents are here doing the same thing.
The beautiful thing about this business is it offers all kinds of opportunity for all kinds of people. But I do think that you do need to be a full-time agent to be an effective.
Well, to be able to get 100% out of it, yeah.
And for you to be able to service your clients properly, it just doesn't make sense. Now, full-time, part-time is different. Mm-hmm. I got into it part-time as well, so I'd be a big, giant hypocrite if I said, well, you got to be in it full-time. But I was all in. I was nights, weekends, afternoons, answering the phone, running, from my regular job as a Marine out to a home inspection, and then back on base to my other job.
Right.
So.
Wait, you were still in the military when you were selling real estate?
Yeah, for 2 years.
I didn't know that. Look, learn something new every day.
2 years, man. 2 years I hated putting my boots on. I would literally almost cry every morning putting my boots on. And there was this one lieutenant. Bro, listen. He has no idea how close he came to not existing.
Oh, do you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I went to kill him. I thought of ways in my Marine mind. I thought of many different ways to watch him turn purple. I didn't act on it, though. You know why?
Go ahead.
Because I got disciplined, bro. I got disciplined. Got that Marine Corps discipline, which is why I'm able to conduct business as a real estate agent with this
Well, God, I hope so, because you running all of Remax Elite, so everyone's counting on you.
But you know what? Here's the beautiful thing. I'm not running Remax Elite.
That's true. We are.
Yeah.
You didn't like that answer?
It's not exactly what I meant, but no, I have an amazing staff that does an amazing job for us.
You do.
You know, and,
You do.
And they and it just, again, that's why all real estate agents are not the same.
Right.
Because some real estate agents have some systems and processes that they put in place to make their business more effective.
Yeah, you need your support team.
Yes, and if you're looking how to put together a support team, you can.
You look at me. You can look at them and tell them that.
I'm just asking you for permission. I'm just kidding. No, man, we put together a great group of people here, and most of our agents are actively engaged in the sport of real estate, and that's what I love about all the people over here.
Me too.
Nice.
Me too.
All right, next one. Ready?
Go ahead.
Myth number 4, cuatro. If you're listening in Spanish today, the kitchen sells the home. Yeah, you give the on that.
Yeah.
Really?
I think the kitchen does not.
The agent sells the home?
No. I mean, I think people just immediately think that because that's the go-to place in the home that everyone circles around, that's what's going to sell the home. But there's multiple aspects of what sells a home. I mean, we talked about this in one of the other episodes where when couples go in or when families go in, usually everyone has something specific that they're interested in a home.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I definitely don't think you can say the kitchen sells the home, but I do think the kitchen is I think having a great kitchen is definitely something that can help you sell a home.
Right.
But you're right, because this is the great thing about the real estate itself is every single property has something a little different about it. Even if it's a tract neighborhood where they have built 7 of the same floor plans, they still put different cabinets, and then as somebody owns that home for a few years, they make different improvements to it. So they have like these little nuances that when that new buyer comes through the door and they see like that previous person's vision for what the home could be, and then they see what the vision is for the home for themselves. Yeah, that's when you know that you got a house that you should make an offer on.
Well, and let's break it down a bit too. I feel like, a lot of our clients, they come through, they're all looking for specific things. I personally think I bought my home based off of the lot, the acreage that I had. Right. And I like that it didn't have a lot of trees, so everything was very, very open. It was all usable.
For me, it was the swimming pool. I wanted a swimming pool, and this house happened to have a huge yard with a big swimming pool. And
you ain't inviting nobody over?
By gosh, I swam in it 4 times last year, all summer long.
Yeah, but I also feel like this past year, you've been working super, super hard on yourself. Well, a new healthier Ray. Yeah, so I feel like you'll probably be in there a lot more.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I think you want to take my jacket off.
Oh my God. Here, we're going to change cameras for that one. All right. So actually, I'm going to bring up the next myth that I've seen on here, and it's you should always sell your home during the spring.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't like that. I think it's a terrible idea. You know why?
I don't think it's a terrible idea. I just think that there are different times of the year that is great. And you also got to think too, we're not talking about just Jacksonville, North Carolina. We're talking about anywhere nationwide.
That's right. I don't think it's a great idea because, in the springtime, there's more competition. Mm-hmm. So when people come to me and go, hey, when's a good time to sell my home? You know the answer to that question?
Are you?
Now. Now. Why not now? Why wait till spring when there's going to be 100 other homes on the market that you're going to have to compete with?
Well, and I think that works good for you, but I also think too that you have other areas within the United States
Yeah.
that fall or winter could be a better time for them to sell depending on the area.
True.
And
Like if you own a beach house too, you don't want to sell in the summer because
Right.
you have all that rental income. Or it could be a good time to sell in the summer because that could be a good incentive for the buyer maybe to pay a little more for the property.
yeah, I mean, I always say I like obviously the PCS seasons. We typically have about 2 a year for the most part, but I feel like they're becoming a lot more sporadic now that things are shifting and moving around.
Right.
But ultimately, I think just like you think, I think that it's always a time to buy. It doesn't really matter what season it is.
Correct.
However, I feel like if people are waiting, or you think that, oh, it's better for me to buy in the springtime because now the holidays are over, taxes are over, can do that. But sometimes that's usually the busiest time of the year because everyone's got the same idea and the same thought as you. So I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. I don't necessarily think that is definitely a myth. I don't consider that to be truth.
Definitely. I agree.
What's the next one?
The next one is that you can't sell a house with major repairs.
Oh, that's a definite false.
For sure. In fact, I love buying houses when they need
I was about to
major
say,
repairs.
one of the last episodes we did, the fix and flips, is that not one of the biggest reasons?
Yes, for sure. For sure. I love buying houses that are messed up. If you have a house that's messed up, give me a call, 910-381-4632.
I'm going to have to like censor that out. You're going to get a lot of phone calls. May not be for what you want it to be.
Let the phone ring. Let me filter through those calls, okay? I will be the judge on that.
That's true. You could prospect.
Exactly.
Hey, did you call me last week? Did you want to buy a house?
You never know what kind of prospects could come in just from us being all over the world.
That's true.
Excited about it.
The house having major repairs needed. I mean, we were just talking about that earlier too when you were talking about earnest money deposits and due diligence fees. I feel like it's one of those things where crawl spaces terrify me. They absolutely terrify me. I don't steer clients away or educate them differently, but I do advise them that crawl spaces can always have the most issues because of moisture, them needing to be encapsulated if they're not closed up right, flooding, any of that nature. So I feel like
Crawl spaces are definitely scary, and before you buy a house on a crawl space, you definitely need to have it inspected. And there's
that's what we got, crawl space specialists.
there is one.
Well, in our area, but where I mean, you got to think you're talking about others.
specialist.
Well, in some places don't have them. They have basements.
Yeah.
Not here. Well, we definitely ain't got no basements.
No, where I'm from, there's a lot of basements. And you know what most of the guys do with their basements? That's like their man cave. And they build like these.
You can't say man cave
Why?
because you can't say it.
Why?
That's just like you can't say the she sheds anymore, right?
Why can't you say that?
Can't say master bedrooms.
Why can't you?
You know why?
Master bedrooms?
You can't say these things anymore. It was brought down the line. Can't say it.
I think that we recently had a reversal of that.
Oh, did we?
That's what I've been hearing.
I need you to prove it to me. I mean, obviously, we say these things in our daily
Fine.
lives, but I think as realtors, we were told that these are
Well, at my
not the
house,
right
it's a
words
man
to
cave.
use.
At my house, it's a man cave.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I'm a man and it's my cave.
But you were talking about
So those
men in
basements,
another state.
anyways. Well, yeah, that's what they do. They turn these basements into their entertainment areas.
Look, there you go. There you go.
Their entertainment areas where they create they have like these bars. They put like real bars down
Like a
there.
sports
So-
room.
Yeah, like a sports bar. They make like a little sports
Yeah.
bar in there. It's pretty cool. That would be cool. Anybody have a house with a basement?
Not here.
There's a couple. I've been in a few. What's the matter?
No.
What did I say?
Oh, didn't say anything.
What did I say?
I don't. Okay, are we?
No, hold on. Tell me.
No,
What
I'm
is it?
not.
What did I say? Did I say something?
No, he didn't say anything. He keeps getting distracted over here because it's those people that are already calling him on his cell phone because he gave his phone number out.
I just put it down. I threw it on.
All of a sudden, his phone is vibrating.
Oh, it's vibrating. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about the next one. You should always list your home at a high price to negotiate down. How you feel about that one?
Terrible. Here's exactly how I feel about it. And this is what I tell all my clients.
Okay.
The real estate market will not let you overprice or underprice a house. And then I ask them, do you know what I mean by that? And then they say, no, I don't know what you mean.
No, please tell me.
Please explain, Ray. Well, here's what I mean by that. I mean, if we overprice it, nobody's going to come look at it. But if we underprice it, a bunch of people are going to look at it and then they might fight over it.
And eventually they're going to settle on the true market value of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So right now we still get properties out there with multiple offers and coming in above asking price. Few and further between. But that's what I mean by that. So the market will not let you overprice it or underprice it. If you overprice a house, somebody's going to come look at it. You're going to spend high days on market.
Yep.
And then we're going to reduce the price when we should have just priced it right to begin with.
Well, and it immediately causes suspicion and eyebrow raises amongst the community that's looking at your home, because now they're like, why has this house been on the market for 112 days? You're immediately going to want to go in and give a lowball offer because you think there's either something wrong with it or something has happened to it. And that's what's happening. Look, we get it. We know that there's a lot of sellers out there. They put a lot of love and care into these homes. They think their homes are worth millions of dollars. And I'm here to tell you that that's not like that everywhere.
Millions of dollars. We have $1 million listing going on the market this week.
We do. We do.
It's from out of town.
But we also have those happening out there on Emerald Isle anyways.
Beach,
yeah. I'm always going to provide the information to my clients whenever we're going through, but I always tell them you want to find that sweet spot where you're also going to have a little bit of wiggle room as well for offers coming in, because you don't know what to expect. You could have someone shoot their shot, want to come in lower. You could have someone that wants to give you 10,000 over because they think it's going to beat whatever offers may be on the table. Right. But all in all, your home still has to appraise. As long as
it's not a cash offer. Yeah.
Right. But it's just like you said a minute ago, the real estate market's not going to let you overprice your home.
Definitely not.
So what's the next one?
The next one is that bidding wars always make homes sell for above asking price. Do you realize that none of these things have been true?
I know.
All these myths.
That's why they're myths. And we're here. We are here to set the record straight.
Synonymous with bullshit.
Say it, bullshit.
Bullshit.
You want me to put
bullshit.
He wants me to put a sound effect on his voice when he says these things.
Yes, it is BS.
Why do you consider that to be BS?
Well, because just like what we just talked about, you can bid a price up in the negotiation process and then never sell that property for that amount of money because it doesn't appraise.
Well, and then I also think it reverts back to what we were just talking about. The real estate market's not going to let you overprice the home. So creating a bidding war just to see how high you can go on your property, that's not doing anybody any favors. It's not doing you any favors. It's not doing them any favors. And I don't know what contracts are like in other states, but I know here in our contracts, it states that time is of the essence. And if you're sitting here just building up to see if you can get 20 offers, then obviously it's a waste of time.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd be waiting around for a while for 20 offers, right? At this point.
No, actually, look, let's be honest. Just last week, I was trying to put in an offer on a home, and she told me that she already had 7 offers on the table, expecting highest and best.
What was
by
the
9
price
p.m.
range of the house?
I was in the 300s.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot. I don't even remember where it's at now.
Here locally. Like, was it?
It was, yeah, it was here in Jacksonville.
That's crazy.
But the fact is that we're starting to see a little bit of a shift in the market where there's more offers happening on these properties all at once than it being a week to 2 weeks.
Does that show that it was maybe underpriced, though, if there's that many offers at once?
Nope, because I actually ran the comps. My client was out of state, and so I was running the numbers for them, and it was priced great. So I absolutely could see why there were multiple offers.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. If it was priced great, did they leave some of their clients' equity on the table? Could they have bumped that price up 10 grand and had less offers but more money?
And that's where it depends on the agent and how they educate their clients.
But again,
it could have been a quick sell for all we know. Yeah. I mean, there could be
some
multiple
of that
reasons
stuff out there as well. That's right. We just bought a house. We just bought one of my companies that does buying and renovating and flipping. We just bought a really nice little. We contracted it. We haven't bought it yet. Mm-hmm. It's worth $150. We got it for like $105. But they wanted a quick sale. No repairs, no contingencies. I don't want to get the tenant out. That's what you pay for. That's why you get those deals. You just turn it into cash.
All right, we got a couple more myths. All right. Real estate agents make money off commissions alone. Is that a myth?
Alone? Is that all by themselves?
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right, then. That's why we're going to bring in the...
Yeah. No, their broker makes commissions too off of it.
Well, I guess when you hear it written out that way, real estate agents make money off commissions alone. I feel like it's one of those things where people think that real estate agents are rich or that
They are.
we have all this
Haven't you
commission.
seen the cars they drive?
Look, but here's the thing,
They're
though.
so rich, all of them.
Yeah, if you're on selling Sunset,
They're still rich,
where?
all over the place. You've seen their cars.
I've seen your car. Oh no, but what I'm talking about is I feel like what most people don't understand is they see a number that we're putting out there as far as commission goes. Because obviously our job is to sell ourselves and the services that we're going to provide you.
Right.
But I think they also don't realize that there's other ties that go into effect when it comes to your commission. The breakdown of the company that you're working with is going to get a certain portion of it. You're going to have to pay things out. Your marketing that's going to have to go into it.
That's exactly what I thought when I first got into real estate. I told that story on one of our podcasts. I thought the lady made 6% because back then they used to show the actual fees and the commissions.
Right.
And I didn't realize that she was not the listing agent, right? Because she gave me the worksheet that just had her on it, but it also had the information about the commission percent. And I think it was 5 or 6%. So I thought on and listen to this house was $135,000.
When was this? Because I feel like you could have gotten that back in 2018.
97, 07.
Oh, you going way back.
05,
You going way back.
04 maybe.
Okay.
135,000, brand new construction,
I was still in high school.
1,600 square feet, $135,000. And I thought she made 6% on that, which is roughly $8,000. So I was like, you could give me a refrigerator. And you know what? She gave me a refrigerator allowance.
And that's the thing.
She absolutely gave me a refrigerator allowance. That agent did. But she didn't tell me there was no refrigerator at the house.
Oh, see?
And so she gave me
Gotta educate.
So now I got to look at that and go, okay, well, 135,000 times maybe 3% is like $4,000, right? Minus $1,000 refrigerator allowance plus probably a 70-30 split with her broker. She only made like $3,000. I thought she was making 7, 8. See how that goes out? I think it. I don't know what it is.
Turn your mic to the side.
Which side?
No, just twist.
Hey, that's probably better.
I don't know. You tell me.
We'll find out in a few minutes.
I feel like I can hear myself loud and clear.
I can hear myself good.
Okay. All right. So
Any comments from you guys out there? Hopefully we can get a little feedback, right? Like, not on the sound, okay? We don't need any sound engineers out there. We're looking for some feedback on how we're doing, how you guys like our topic, and what some of your thoughts are about some of these items.
yeah, I'd love to hear what other people think as far as these myths go.
Is there any other myths that you guys have?
Exactly. Like
Because
this
we'll
is just a
address that.
few that we put together that I've seen being put out there or have seen put out there. And it's one of those things where you're kind of putting it to bed, putting it to rest, kind of giving our point of view.
We should try
on
to
it.
do a mailbag show.
Oh, I got you.
Like, hey, let's get everybody that has listened or followed, like they just like ask us a question. Rando.
Or like send us some comments that you want us to elaborate on or give our opinion
Right.
during our podcast
We'll
show.
even give you a shout out.
Yeah, I might want to give a code name for that just in case you don't want other people to know who you are. Don't be like Ray giving out your phone number to all of America.
It's published. All you have to do is Google my name. And my phone number comes up.
Technically, yeah, that's exactly true. I don't know how many times I get calls from U.S. Pharmacy trying to sell me Medicare and all this other kind of stuff.
You need Medicare?
No, I got the VA.
Oh, okay.
I served my time.
I had a V8 too.
A V8?
Yeah.
Talking about VA coverage.
V8 make you walk straight. Never saw that.
No.
You never saw the V8 commercial, like V8 juice? They're walking sideways. They drink one. They straighten right up.
No, I do not.
All right.
I don't watch commercials. I
like
don't have
spicy,
cable.
Spicy V8. I don't have cable anymore either. You know what? You know what I watch my TV on now?
What?
YouTube TV.
Not me. I watch HBO.
It's not even called HBO anymore.
I know it's called Max. To the max.
Unbelievable. You know what they used to call Max when I was a kid?
What?
Skinamax.
Nope. Next. All right. Where we going to?
Okay. That's what they used to call it.
All right. You should always wait for the market to improve before selling.
All of these myths.
How you feel about that one?
I have mixed emotions on it.
Okay.
Okay. because in a way it is correct, right? A lot of people are always worried like, hey, I'm only going to be here for 2 or 3 years. That's a major objection that we have when we're working on educating people in the home buying process here in this local market that we're in. And I tell them, okay, that's fine, but in 2 or 3 years you could probably do okay, but what could you do in 7 or 8 years? Really good, right? Like, have you known anybody who has owned a home for 7 or 8 years and sold it and lost money?
Yeah.
I don't. And I generally believe that if you sell because you have to sell, you could lose some money.
Well, and sometimes you don't have a choice. I know, like for military, they have to PCS. So,
but they do have a choice, right?
They do.
They have a choice. Their choice is to put it into property management at a certain property management company.
Yeah, but I personally wouldn't do that. But that's for my personal properties.
But for me and for the best of the people in the world, right? For them, if you want to maximize your investment, right? Mm-hmm. Real estate traditionally is a long-term investment. You put that in property management, you pay down the equity, and the hope is that, and the cycle has always been that the mortgage goes down, the equity goes up, and that gap every year gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. Once you get to 8 to 10 years, then you can either refinance, and now you have more of a cash flowing investment, or you can then turn around and sell the property, and that equity gap belongs to you.
Right.
So I think that selling in a market that's better is better, but you certainly don't have to.
You think about it right now. We have a lot of consumers out there that are like, I'm going to wait until the rates drop. So they're just going to keep waiting and waiting and waiting, or, because obviously, exactly. And so I think, when it says that you should always wait for the market to improve before selling, I do find that to be false as well, because I feel like the market is never going to be where you want it to be.
Right.
Things are always going to be changing all the time.
You got to get in the market.
Right.
You're never gonna realize equity gains unless you get in the market sooner.
Yeah.
And then if you're trying to get out of the market, then you do want to kind of sell when it's high. But sometimes you do have to sell.
So look, they actually have on here, other than myths, the tall tales that come with real estate as well. Let's talk about these real quick.
Okay.
The more bedrooms, the better.
I think we should say the more bedrooms, the mo better. The more bedrooms, the better. I mean, I've had houses that are like 5-bedroom houses, and when people hear that they're 5 bedrooms, they don't want to look at it because they think it's too big.
Well,
too many rooms to clean.
And I've also had it too, where you've had 4 to 5 bedrooms, and people say that the rooms are too small because they're trying to fit more bedrooms in, which they're putting a lot of space in the main living space areas, and the rooms are a lot smaller.
They're building and they're actually rezoning some houses like in Charlotte and Raleigh right now to just be more bedrooms. Like they're taking houses and turning everything into a bedroom. Mm-hmm. And then the bathrooms and the kitchen is like living space, or excuse me, like shared space.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Like a community area?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, because they're having trouble with the number of permits and the amount of people that need houses and the affordability of a brand new single family house. There are some people just killing it investment wise on that right now.
See, and I also think too, the more bedrooms is not always the best. I do feel like some people want open floor space plans, or say you don't have a family. I mean, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, but make it bigger. I don't think that the more bedrooms is always going to be the better sale.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I'd buy a 2-bedroom house right now if it had, like real good living space. My son's leaving.
I was about to say, yeah.
I'm empty nesting.
Is it about that time?
Empty nesting. Nest is empty.
All right. So how do you feel about this second one? Buying a house means you're set for life. Is the house perfect? Are you set for life? No. Still got property taxes?
Yes.
Yep.
I think that buying a house I think buying your first home can get you in the right direction,
right,
to become set for life. But until you have no mortgage and no debt, you're still in debt and you have a mortgage.
Look, my mom's house is completely paid off, still paying property taxes. You still got repairs you've got to make over time because things are going to break down. Things don't last forever. And look, we're also on the East Coast. Hurricane season, floods, all that.
Flood, destruction, mayhem.
I don't have a button for that. I wish I did. I'll just not the right one.
I like that sound.
What about the third one?
The third one, you'll never need a real estate lawyer. Let's hope not. But no, that's crazy. You will definitely eventually need one.
Well,
To either close on your property or give you some advice on what your options are if a contract goes bad or something.
well, and I think some think that you just need your agents to close the deal. I don't think they realize all the behind the scenes work that goes into purchasing a home, all the things that they're doing, the title work, and they're pulling all of the stuff, making sure there's no liens on it.
It's a lot of work, man. A lot of work.
Yeah. What about investing in real estate guarantees you'll be rich?
I mean,
What's to look for?
well, I would say yeah. Yeah.
But think about it. It may be working for you, but I also think investing in real estate doesn't guarantee that you'll be rich. You could purchase your first investment property. It could be a complete flop. You could be under. You could end up not making the profit that you were expecting.
Right.
Or you buy a home expecting it to be an investment. And when you go to sell, it was the wrong area. It was a bad location. The market's not where it needed to be at the time that you were selling. So I don't necessarily think that always investing in real estate guarantees you'll be rich. I do think that you can make money
Right.
off of investing in real estate. Absolutely. As long as you have the right research and everything behind it.
That makes sense. And I would say investing in the right real estate agent,
That too.
investing
Investing in that too.
in the right real estate can help you become wealthy.
Absolutely.
Again, real estate is a get rich game. Absolutely. Whether you're an investor, whether you're a real estate agent,
But it's not a get rich quick.
But it's not get rich quick. This
Right.
is an over time thing. I've been in this business almost 20 years, and I still am not where I want to be.
Well, and I'll tell you, so I brought her up before in a previous episode, and I'd love to get her on the show one day, but
Who is it?
Lisa Hogan,
Uh-huh.
you know, I remember back then when she first started and she bought her very first property. It was over in Carolina Plantations. They ended up obviously moving to California. It's where he got PCS, her husband. And so they put it on the rental market. From there, they invested in a townhome. Then they invested in a duplex. And they started to build up that ROI.
Get those doors.
Right. And now they also have Airbnbs. I've helped them purchase some Airbnbs. And I want to say they've got about 5 or 6. They even bought in Ohio.
That should be like a prerequisite for dating. How many doors do you own? How many doors you got, girl?
Get back on track. Get back on track.
No, it's the same. I mean, it's like you have to have some doors. And you're talking about they bought doors.
And windows. Like, who's that creeping in your window? I think I got that from some movie. They're like, who's that creeping in your window?
Something's wrong with you.
Did you ever see Stomp the Yard?
Uh-uh.
You never saw that movie?
No, it sounds hood.
I mean, it was a college movie, and they did
Is it like cheerleading?
steps. No, they were doing steps and everything. And they were like, who's that creeping in your window? Something.
Is that on camera?
It probably is, yeah.
It's on camera. That's good.
All right, going on.
Did you ever see CB4?
What? No,
No? Okay.
CB4,
Yeah.
R2D2, 3
that's Star Wars.
C3PO.
No, CB4, man. Cell Block 4 with Chris Rock.
Oh God,
MC Gusto.
I forgot about that one.
MC Gusto. There's like a real MC Gusto, though.
Is there?
Well, no, he was like impersonating him or something. Anyway.
All right, I got the last one for you.
Can we have a movie episode?
Why you need a movie episode?
We just talk about movies, like movies at the house. That'd be fun, right? We just talk about movies.
I mean, we could,
What did movies?
but that would
have-
require both of us to know what movies.
So we'd have to like figure out like real estate movies. We could figure out some movies that had to do with real estate.
There's a lot of movies that use real estate affiliation in there, and some of them I crack up laughing, especially when you've got the little Karen walking around. She's got her little scarf tied around her neck, and she's selling this house.
Oh my gosh, that was a good movie.
Do you even know which movie I'm talking about?
I think it's like the movie with it was actually the movie about the mortgage crisis.
No, this one I think she was telling like all the sellers' business. She was like, "Oh, she's going through a divorce and she's having a really hard time, and you got to do this and that." That is the worst
Is that
thing
how
to
we
do.
got in that lawsuit from her?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Last but not least, tall tale that we have, and I want to get your opinion on this one because I know how much he loves this. Foreclosures are always great deals. What are your thoughts on that? You want me to hit it?
Wah, wah.
Oh, you want that one?
Yeah, definitely not. Sometimes foreclosures can be the worst deals.
Right. I agree.
Especially a real foreclosure that you like buy at the courthouse. You know, you're not even really able to inspect the property or even go to the property legally.
Yeah, I think I asked you at one point in time if you had ever bought a property blind.
And I did. I had never. Yeah, I did. And it worked out actually, but no, I mean, and then some foreclosures are on the market and they're selling for market value right now.
Well, and there's also some that are just way overpriced. Makes no sense to me at all.
And that is a really good way to talk about the real estate market right now. Is there seems to be no rhyme or reason.
Right.
You just told me a $300,000 house had 7 offers on it.
Yep.
Okay, in Jacksonville, and I've had some homes recently that have $400,000 house that's super nice sitting on the market. When the new construction version of that house is $450,000. This house has got a white vinyl fence, 3-car garage, updates galore inside, and it's just sitting there. It's kind of crazy. Drives me nuts. But there's no rhyme or reason. Same thing to the foreclosure. Same thing.
Yeah. Well, look, and I think there was a time too where I was sitting there and I was wondering why a home that was listed at $187,000 was just sitting on the market forever, when technically we were in that market range where majority of our buyers were coming in between $150,000 to $250,000, and these homes were just sitting. I couldn't understand it.
We should be singing that old Archie Bunker song.
I'm just always curious
Those were the days.
to know, like in places like LA, Florida, Texas, what their thoughts are on, or like for the pricings of their homes. Like, how's your market going?
Love to hear from some of those guys.
Yeah.
Call in and talk to us.
Because I want us to be able to get out of the Jacksonville area, the North Carolina area. I want to hear some feedback from some of the other areas because I am curious.
I heard that nationally as a whole, there's still a lot of shortage of inventory. And that seems to be what, just from being, at the conference that I was recently at, that is the dilemma, is that even though there were just above 4 million units moved, even at 4 million units, that was a shitty year. But the reality is that we don't have enough housing for the amount of people. In other words, people are reproducing at a rate that the housing market is not keeping up with.
Look.
And I'm not saying stop reproducing. That's fun.
Yeah, but at the same time,
But it creates real human problems.
we're running out of places to put people.
Well, and I mean, that is where, we just sat in a zoning meeting the other day and they were talking about, accessory dwelling units. And that's what you're seeing. So you're seeing builders build larger homes and on lots that authorize or can have an ADU added.
Well, and think about it too, like where we currently live in the East Coast side, which doesn't make sense to me because we're literally not that far from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Virginia Beach. But I was always told that the biggest reason why we don't have skyscrapers here in this area is because of the soil stability. We can't hold the weight of having skyscrapers. So instead of building up, we have to build out. And so it's becoming more widespread. We're taking down a lot of wooded areas, all these lots that it's
We
just
definitely got to
woods.
get vertical, man.
Yeah.
We got to get vertical. But the bad thing about the vertical stuff, you know who's building the vertical stuff?
Who?
Rich conglomerates. And guess what they're not doing? They're not selling it. They're renting it. So what that means is that the individual homeowner is going to miss out.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen. Home ownership is going to get more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. So if you want to buy now, call. Not just kidding. But no, it's a fact. It's an actual fact. And guess what? Your government, in my opinion, and this is not a political show by any means, but let me ask you a question. Is it harder to own a house at 4% interest or 7% interest?
Honestly,
7.
I don't know. I feel like everyone's opinion is going to be different on that.
They've priced out the guys that could have bought and that could buy right now.
But interest
They're
rates have
being
been
priced out.
so much higher and people were still buying.
Yeah, but so much higher at $100,000.
I agree, but I also think too
big
some of it
difference.
comes from the media. I think the media, they just blast all this stuff out and then people start to consume it and believe it and think that, oh my God, I don't need to do this right now. Interest rates used to also be 9, 12%.
which is why real estate agents are so vital to the process.
I agree.
Of home ownership.
I agree.
It is very important. Real estate agents, but you got to be educated and you have to be a good one. And you have to look out for your clients because the bad actors are the ones that are going to get mess it up for the rest of us.
Yeah, but I mean that's our job. Our job is to do this research, watch the market, make sure that we're telling our clients exactly what they need to hear.
Yep.
Trust us. That's what we are here for. At least that's how I look at it. But think about it. It's just like a credit card. You can get a credit card that's 18% to 29%, and you're going to you're going to pay it anyways because you want that credit card. So I don't understand why people are like, oh, I need to wait till the market improves or interest rates are too high. But you'll pay for that credit card so you can go and buy that laptop or that new piece of furniture that you need.
Fresh pair of J's.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay cash for mine, though. I don't Do you know the most trusted real estate agents on the planet are?
Me. I'm the most trusted.
The ones that wear the logo that's on your lapel. It's a fact. Irrefutable. So we're talking about trust agents. Yeah. Like it's good stuff. What were we talking about? Foreclosures?
No, I feel like that was good. I feel like we covered a ton of myths and tall tales that have been put out there. And if there's more out there that you guys think that we need to put out there or that you'd like for us to elaborate on, send them our way. We'll check them out.
And if you want to be on our show, give us a shout. We'll
give us a shout.
We'll screen you. We'll screen you, and we'll see if you're real estate playground material.
Just give Ray a call. You want to put that number out again?
No, I'm going to put your number out. Just call Todd.
All right, everybody. That's it for today with the Real Estate Playground. Make sure that you
910-381.
Stay tuned.
So much fun, dude. Thank you for putting this together.
Of course. Stay tuned.
studio.
Every Monday, we're going to be putting out fresh new episodes for you guys. So make sure you listen on Spotify and YouTube. And we are coming up very, very closely of getting it put out on Apple Music as well. So make sure to tune in there too.
Legitimizing the program.
Yep.
Every day.
All right. Till next time.
See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Have fun.